Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Andrea, and if you're old, welcome back. So today I'm going to be telling you all about 10 things that they don't tell you when you're getting surgery, specifically for BBLs. Now, when I got my surgery, I thought that I did enough research when in fact I did not. Like, I had the basics of what you needed to bring, of how, you know, the recovery would go, and, you know, where to get my massages and things like that. But, like, when I actually went to get surgery, it was totally different from that. One, they did not tell me that the first day is the absolute worst. Like, I'm telling you, I wasn't sore from the lipo, but, like, my ass, well, sorry, my butt hurt so bad. Like, it was just like someone was constantly squeezing my cheeks like this, and it just, like, it hurt. It was so uncomfortable, and you obviously can't sit on your butt, and I never did until about 6 weeks post-op, maybe even later than that. But like, it hurt. It was so uncomfortable, but everything else was fine. I did have arm lipo with my first round BBL, and honestly, I'm gonna be real frank and honest and say that I didn't see a difference with the arm lipo, but with my actual BBL and the lipo around my midsection, I did see a difference, because my love handles were like this thick and it was not cute. So I definitely saw a difference with that, and he definitely transferred some fat to my butt area. But I'll talk about my results another day. The main thing you need to know is that the first day is always the worst, so make sure you have your medication on hand when you come out of surgery, because you definitely want to, like, you want to take the medication because you need to eat something. So whatever you eat, whatever you do, take something to eat before you take any pill, and that goes for your antibiotics as well. I saw a lot of people saying that they were nauseous when they took their pills, and that's because they simply weren't eating. You can't take an antibiotic or something as strong as Oxy or Percocet and expect to not be nauseous. It just doesn't make sense. Second is, right after surgery, you need to have at least 5 bottles of Pedialyte on hand, and you need to eat something beefy. Now, when I came out of surgery, that first day I was tired. I was just snacking on fruits and stuff just to try to get something down to take my antibiotics. But, like, I didn't really eat a meal, and I was mainly sleeping, honestly. Like, that first day I was sleeping. I was draining my drains when I had to and just sleeping. So I wasn't really trying to eat anything or anything heavy. So by the time I got to my post-op appointment the next day at 9 a.m., I was like, oh, it'll be a quick 30-minute appointment. They'll check me out, whatever. And that was not the case. Your girl went there on an empty stomach. They had me waiting for 4 hours to do my post-op appointment, because they had all the girls come at 9 a.m. and some of us weren't seen, like myself, until 12 o'clock. So it was just a whole mess, and I do not recommend Avana, whatever they want to call themselves. Do not go there, because sis, you will be miserable. It is a chop shop like environment, and you will not get that personalized care that you need. Third, the massages suck. Like, I'm talking next level. It hurts so bad, but it feels so good. Like, you need to eat something, take your pain medication at least 30 minutes before, so it has time to kick in, and then you go, because that first massage almost took me to heaven. I'm talking, like, my skin was so sensitive. I'm gonna be real frank with y'all. My first massage, the lady didn't even do me 10 minutes. That's just how painful it was. I didn't take my medication, so I would highly recommend you take that medication 30 minutes before, eat something, and then make sure you're staying hydrated too. That's where the Pedialyte comes in hand, because it helps you replenish your electrolytes, it keeps you hydrated, and you will overall feel a whole lot better if you're staying hydrated. It doesn't have to be Pedialyte, but I would highly recommend you get some. Next is that you can get, this is something that was not talked about, like, at all. I didn't even know this was a thing until it happened to me personally. So you can get fat necrosis, and fat necrosis is where the fat that has been transferred, like, it's been clean, you know, doused in antibiotics, all the good stuff, and then it's transferred into your butt, but the fat does not survive, and therefore it dies. And it can leave a hard spot, which it did. It's not hard anymore, but at first it did leave a hard spot that you will have to like kind of massage out to soften it up. Second, the fat dying releases oils, and it can cause an infection. So when my fat died in my butt cheek, it caused a big lump. I'm talking about the lump ended up being this big, and that's just like where I guess the infection, it wasn't in a full-blown infection, but it was like, you know, getting hard. It was looking real agitated. It was close to being cellulitis. That's how bad it was. But luckily the doctor I was seeing here on base gave me antibiotics, had me taking them 2 antibiotics every 4 hours. Also, my doctor prescribed me antibiotics and helped me out with a refill when that doctor was unavailable. So, and I took those for the better part of 2.5 weeks. So when you first spot, it can start, mine started out as a spot this big, and it was just like a little hard, so I didn't think about it. And then it started getting light pink, and that's when I messaged my doctor and was like, hey, you know, is something going on? What can I do about this? And he was like, you know, it doesn't seem like it's an infection, but keep an eye on it. And me, I'm a worry wart, so I went to the ER, and it was like, yeah, you have, you know, this like mass in your butt cheek. And I'm just like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, it looks like it's cellulitis. We're gonna have to drain it. And I was like whole freaking out. But they did not drain it, and I'm so happy they didn't, because my fat necrosis was like so deep in my butt. Like it almost would have been pointless to drain it, and it would have been super hard for them to get to the fat necrosis. So that was a whole ordeal. I can give you the lowdown on that if you want it. It was a super scary situation. Just make sure you have support, ladies. The most important thing is to have some support, because when you're doing this surgery, you never know what can go wrong. And thankfully my husband was here to kind of help me through it emotionally. Like it was a lot. Like your girl was scared that she was gonna end up with like half her butt cheek falling off. Like there are so many scary stories out here, and I just did not know what was going to happen to me. Next is number 5. You can't prevent fat necrosis. Like there's absolutely nothing that you can do to prevent it. Honestly, like I didn't sit on my butt. I was literally on my hands and knees 24/7. Like when I did have to sit down, I used my BBL pillow, and even then I was leaning forward so that, you know, I wasn't putting any pressure on my butt. Like it was, there's really nothing you could do to prevent it. But I would highly advise, like when you're going to your massages, try not to sit on your butt. Just lay flat on your stomach. You know, on the flight home, try to walk around as much as possible. Like my flight, personally, like one flight was like 4 hours and the other was like 5 or 6 hours. So I was walking around on my flight just trying to keep busy and to stay off my butt, and it was miserable. Like I'm not even gonna lie, it was miserable, but it was necessary. And while it didn't prevent my infection, it just gave me the peace of mind. Okay, that's really all you can do for it. Also, a lot of people get those leg circulator machines for long flights. I have had 2 surgeries so far, and I've never purchased one. But in order to give you peace of mind, and if you're blood clot prone, definitely get you one. Try to look on eBay for a secondhand one, or look on Amazon for a more cheaper priced, you know, leg circulator. Next is something that I don't think any of us was expecting, which is that only 40% of the fat that they transfer survives. And that isn't even including like the total amount that they take. So if they transfer 1,000 cc's, it's very likely that only 400 cc's will survive. And that's why they tell you not to fall in love with your immediate post-op results, because the results that you get coming off the table, yes, they may be popping or they may be bad, but that's not the results you're gonna have in 6 months to a year. So that's why it is important that while you love your results, you don't fall in love with them, because they may change, and they may change into something that you don't like. I recently saw on one of the surgery pages that a girl she loved her results straight off the table for the first 3 or 4 months, I believe. And then all of a sudden her results changed. She had fat pockets around on her body, and she just overall didn't like it. and people were attacking her because she said she didn't like her results, although initially she did. And people have to understand that your results change, and people are allowed to change their minds about something. Like if you paid $10,000 for a Lipo 360 with the BBL, you should have perfection. There should be no fat pockets. There should be no uneven hips or uneven lats. Like, that's hard-earned money that people work for and they give to these surgeons. You should get the results that you want. So at the end of the day, we really have to be better in the surgery community about bashing women or coming for women who are just trying to find support from people who have been through it. Like, and that's just at the end of the day, like, what it is. We have to be more supportive, because a lot of people just go to Miami, they don't even have anyone to go with them, so they stay in recovery houses. So just try to be more supportive, and remember that not all the fat survives. And if yours does, sis, you 1 in a million probably. 7 is that they don't always take the max fat amount. So while you may be allowed to take 4 liters in the state of Florida, they may only take 2.5 or 3 liters if that is what your body has to offer. Sometimes, oddly enough, surgeons don't take the full 4 liters, which I honestly don't understand why they don't, because you want to be sucked bone dry when you go to surgery. You're not trying to come back with no fat in your arms. You're not trying to come back with no fat in your thighs or your stomach. So I don't understand why they don't take the whole 4 liters, but sometimes it does happen. So at your pre-op appointment, you need to be crystal clear with your surgeon about, hey, I'm trying to be sucked to the bone, and these are what I'm looking for. So while sometimes they tell you not to have wish pics, definitely have wish pics, because if you don't even have an idea of what you want to look like, what's your surgeon supposed to do? I mean, he ain't God. There's only so much he can do. Number 8 is that not all fat is transferable. So if you get something like body tight or J plasma, you cannot use that fat to transfer it to your butt or your breast or your lips or whatever, because that fat is essentially melted, and when that fat is melted, it is no longer useful. So if you were trying to use that fat in your BBL, you need to tell them to take the fat out, as in liposuction it, and then you will get the J plasma or the body tight done, and that way you can actually use the fat. But not all fat is transferable, and that's just period. Like, even with regular liposuction, a lot of the times they may take out 2,000 cc's, but you know, some of it may not be that golden, you know, fat that they're looking for. So you may only actually have 1,800 cc's to transfer, and they'll split it up between the cheeks and, you know, distribute it how they see fit. 9 is that, sis, I'm sorry to say, but if you're on the heavier side and you're going for a specific vixen look, you may need 2 rounds, and that's perfectly fine. But you can't expect to come on the table, you know, I don't want to say like a specific weight, because everyone carries their weight differently. So you can't come on the table with a lot more than 10 pounds. 10 pounds is like the max 4 liters they could take out of someone in one BBL surgery. So if you come with more than 10 pounds of fat and you looking to be snatched like Bernice Burgos, it's not gonna happen, baby girl. Like, one, it's not gonna happen in the States. So if that's what you want, you need to go to the DR, Colombia, something like that, where they're a lot looser on liposuction restrictions. But I will tell you, 2 rounds can pretty much get you where you want. I definitely recommend 2 rounds, just so you're not risking your life trying to get, you know, something that is for vanity purposes. Well, a lot of us have kids to come back to, and I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to die trying to get a BBL or a tummy tuck. Sorry, I had to step away, so if the framing looks different, that's why. So, last and not least, number 10, like, when you go into surgery, you need to be close to your goal weight, because that's the only way you're gonna get results that you like. Personally, for me, I was told not to get past a certain weight so that he could, you know, have enough fat to take out to transfer for me. But if you definitely have more than 10 pounds to take out, sis, you need to get down 10 to 15, maybe even 20 pounds. Actually, 20 pounds should be like the goal, because, you know, like I said, not all the fat is transferable, so you want to give them something to work with. But you should be well by your goal weight and in the shape that you really want, because you come out of surgery and you spend all those months wearing your compression garments, your faja, your foams, your boards, all of that stuff, you don't want to still be looking like a busted can of biscuits and like your results just aren't what you want, and you're upset with your surgeon. But in reality, like, it's your own fault. Like, you're not even trying to get yourself to the weight that you want. So if you're on the heavier side, you're trying to get this thick thin look or this thick thin vixen look, like, you have to put in the work at the end of the day. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible, but it's just the blunt truth. Like, you have to put in the work to get the results that you want. Also, the problem that I had with my BBL was that I got my BBL done, but my stomach wasn't flat. And that was because I had diastasis recti from my kids. So if your stomach is not flat at the end, sorry, my camera stopped recording, but if your stomach is not flat at the end of your surgery, then that is possibly why. You will need to do muscle repair and get a tummy tuck like I did, which is okay, and you can do that in the second round. Like, not everything has to be done at the same time. So I'm just giving you ladies all these tips and telling you what to expect, because I wasn't told these things and I didn't learn about these things until after I had my surgery, and it was just like mind-blowing that this could even happen. So I want you guys to just keep that in mind and stay safe, ladies, because a BBL is one of the more dangerous surgeries, and there have been just so many infections with these pop-up clinics in Miami. Please, if you get a surgeon, check his desk, check to make sure he's board certified. Don't be just getting no surgery by no dermatologist or no OBGYN. Like, your surgeon should be double board certified at least. Like, and you know, have like tons of photos on his Instagram or his Facebook page on Real Self. Check that, because that's where this real tea comes from, because they can't block your reviews there. Like, you have to do your thorough research, ladies. Like, join multiple surgery groups. Don't just get in one or two. There's at least 5, 6, 7, or 8 that I know of. Like, join all the groups, get all your information, and then choose a surgeon. I know sometimes that these surgery prices look good and you want to lock in your date, but what good is locking in your date with a facility if you're a surgeon at a different facility? Like, you have to make it make sense. And that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look out for you guys' best interest. So if you want me to discuss, you know, what happened with my fat necrosis, my experience at Ivana, my doctor, or if I'm planning on getting any more surgery, you know, just let me know in the comments. I am happy to answer any of your questions and, you know, really give you ladies the details, because a lot of the time these girls try to, you know, downplay deaths that a doctor has had. Like, oh, every doctor has deaths. My surgeon, baby girl, my surgeon has never had a death. So don't let somebody tell you, oh, he has 10 deaths. It's okay, you know, the rest of us came out okay. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You need to reevaluate your surgeon list and start over. And if you choose to go that route with a surgeon that has deaths, that is okay. But I'm just letting you know, we're going to pray for you and hope you make it to the other side, okay? We're not here to bash you. We're just here to, you know, like, we all want to see you come home to your family. So just stay safe, ladies. That's all we're saying. And with that being said, I hope this video was helpful. Please hit that subscribe button if you like the content. Hit that like button. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye.